Hello everyone, Simon here from the Wales of Wall Street LCX video here for you guys. Before we go into the chart, let's have a quick look at some rather strange news. The SEC, arguably a bunch of twerps, most archaic organisation possibly I've ever known in regards to its policies, legislation, and what on earth are these guys doing now. We've seen the craziness with Ripple and XRP over the last couple of years, the nonsense cases, not just them, it's been going on and on for a long time, not just even in crypto. We've seen them going after Elon Musk, which didn't go very well either. But this one in particular makes me laugh. So the Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC, have listed 9 cryptocurrencies on Coinbase that it says are securities. And in this list here, there's a couple that I know of very well, but we're going to be talking about LCX here. So they were each mentioned in connection with alleged insider trading. Interesting. Now, the SEC is very backwards, by the way. It's so behind all the other legislations around the world, and particularly around standardizations of cryptocurrencies, blockchain, and all these standardization. And, excuse me if I get this wrong, but the Liechtenstein law is one of those key aspects. In fact, I even think we've got a little article here. This is Monty Medza, CEO and founder of LCX, who's obviously clearly retaliated to this. LCX token is a utility token which can be used like a voucher at the LCX platform, e.g. to pay fees. This is no different to how like KCS works on KuCoin or BNB on Binance, BTR, Bitrue, all these kind of tokens, right? But also like the burning mechanism of the tokens and how it operates the exchanges and things like this. That's what makes it a utility token. It can't be a security. Legal opinions in the US, Singapore, and Liechtenstein confirm that LCX is classified as a utility token. This is exactly the same retaliation that Ripple had regarding the XRP, and still continuation of that narrative as well. Even I can't remember when this lawsuit started now. It was so long ago and so boring. I don't really care anymore. I accumulate XRP, I accumulate LCX because I know what it is, and I just wonder, like, when we vote these people in, like in governments and stuff, and they hire these people in these organizations, like, does anyone ever like sit there and go, why am I bothering voting anymore? Like, what is the actual point? Like, it is absolute nonsense and garbage. All the comments coming out here as well. Are we going to get LCX conspiracy smoke and mirror narratives and riddlers now? Like, this is the thing. Like, come on, guys. What is going on? LCX is not security. SEC throwing some wild statements again on random coins because insider trading happening on those coins listings. It's absolutely garbage, isn't it? So I don't know what to say about this. And this is the link that the CEO put out there here about the LCX token being used in the exchange-based token used for paying for fees and all the other things that it does in the ecosystem. I don't know where the SEC get this nonsense from. And do put this in the comments below, guys. Like, I'm sure there's other coins that you've perhaps invested in, whether it's recently or before, other than XRP, that you think, what are the SEC doing? Absolutely ridiculous. That's all I can say about it, really, because as an exchange, I honestly believe, and this is what we covered in the most recent video, this is going to be an absolute top project for sure. And not just a project, a top exchange, guys. This is almost an institutional level. I've signed up. I think I've got through all the verifications now, and I truly believe this is going to be an absolute powerhouse. It's so early, the price point's so early as well. We have to consider all these things. So I just thought I'd bring this point to your attention. You may see a load of FUD out there, absolute garbage. So do your own research, of course, make your own thoughts and opinions about this. But like I said, you might see some nonsense out there. Just bring it to the attention in case you haven't heard about it before. But if you do your research, you will see LCX utility, not security. As I said, SEC do this with a lot of tokens and coins out there, and not just in crypto, about stocks and other financial aspects in the world as well, where they just simply haven't got a clue. It's almost like they work in coherence with wanting everything to dump so they or their members or their founders or whatever in the SEC and all these other nonsense organizations and institutions buy it for themselves. It's exactly the same repetitive nonsense that I see in every FUD and bear cycle. I'm so bored of it, and I'm so glad more and more of people out there don't pay attention to this absolute garbage. And we can see that a lot in a lot of the projects now, where all this FUD comes out and it's just not really reacting in a downward trend anymore. The reason the trends come down in the market at the moment, we've seen, is the general bear market cycle, which happens anyway, but also fueled with the macro events that go on around the world. We're talking about like fuel, bills, cost of living, all of these things, right? And what they're trying to do is keep chucking out the net. Where's all the positivity? Where is all the positivity? Because actually, all these projects, certainly that I'm invested in, are continuing their development. The news is there. The information is there. The price isn't going to be there because from an investor's perspective, it's cautious and risky. But the fact of the matter is, these projects are still continuing, which indicates to me as well in the price points recently that there's stabilization. People are accumulating in small rather than large amounts these days at the moment. And also it's stabilizing because people are believing, and they're either in negative, negative portfolio and they're just waiting for it to come back up, or they're just saying, I don't really care anymore. Only invest what you can afford to lose, as they say. And we look at the chart here for LCX. Bear in mind this nonsense that's come out in the last sort of 12 to 24 hours, if you like. It hasn't really moved much at all. It's having a dip slightly in the last 2 days, but that's just purely because we've had a nice little uptrend. And in fact, if I just pull in here the price range from the lower region here on the 13th, 14th of July up to here, it's a good 42, nearly 43% increase. This is a natural occurrence to come back down after this kind of move, of which we have done merely just about 20%. So we're very much halfway down that line now. But as I said in many other videos this week and the last few weeks and even the last couple of months, I don't think we're out of this bear market at all. No way. We're just seeing some nice fluctuations of macro level bull and bears, right? So we just got to keep that in mind. The other thing to consider as well is these fib retracement levels. We've got the long-term ones and the macro ones here, and we're just literally bouncing around at the moment on this 0.007 mark, okay? So again, the stability is there. Think of how powerful supposedly the SEC is, and they've mentioned these 9 currencies, of which LCX is one. I think this is pretty solid, to be honest. And actually, this is a really good reflective point to pick out on. If you're looking to accumulate LCX, or you're new to it, or you missed these previous dips, you might be looking for the next one. And this could be a good DCA opportunity. The reason I'm saying that is if we draw in a horizontal line here, you can see this, what I'm talking about. I'm just going to draw it bang on in here. We've had touch points up and down in this area, rejections here, here, and here across May, respectively. We had a big tail up with some announcements of the exchange, etc., pulling them back down. But you can see here more traction, rejected on the way up, rejected on the way up. Now we're over that line and we're pulling back to this area. So this is a good DCA point from my perspective. Yes, we can still come back down lower, but we're reducing the risk element in terms of it going further south too significantly. So I've got to anticipate I will be doing a manual order after this video, but I'm also interested, so we can see where we're around here. I'd be also very interested to hit back down here somewhere, not because of this recent one here on the 13th of July, but if you look at this, we had a bit of support here, but look at these were also support levels. So it's literally magnetizing itself around this complete area around here. So I personally, this is not financial advice, am being manually buying around this current area at this 7 cent mark, or just under it, sorry. But also down at these touch points here, perhaps at the lower region of 6 cents. If it comes down to that area, I'll probably reassess and maybe potentially do another lower one around these macro levels here. Because if we look back in the, albeit small history of this chart, if I look back in all the other previous ones as well, we can see that this is quite an interesting area to be accumulating as well. And that's just dipping slightly under the 6 cents. So if I just undo that one and I just go and put my buy order around here when I've finished, Those are two good key areas. If it bounces up and goes up, fantastic, because we've been buying at these lower regions, but we don't know where the bottom is. Got to be cautious and do our DCAing, right? And we're going to look at the indicators here as well, just to confirm a few things. This is what I was talking about, stability, guys. Look at this big sell-off, bit of an intake here. Look at this. This is a calm C right now. Yes, it's in the upward trend slowly, but what my point is that even with the nonsense out today, it hasn't really reacted negatively at all, to be honest. And it's showing exactly what I said about the psychology of investors right now. Small, slow and steady, basically, is what it is. The RSI is 57 on the 14-day, 51 on the 28-day. It's slightly a bit too high for me to be going gung-ho with my DCAing. So I'm going to put in that intricate small amount right now after this video, but I'll be waiting for the RSI potentially to come down back to those 45, 42 levels on the 14-day and potentially around the 45 mark on 28-day to really hammer home an accumulation point. If it doesn't come down to those areas and we pick up, fantastic. I mean, look back here on 9th of June, shot up to nearly 70. So most of my moves have already been done back at these areas, but that doesn't mean that we stop accumulating, because I believe in this project long term. I just want to get basic LCX, anything under 10 cents in all honesty. And we look at the performance indicator on the right hand side here. The weekly and the monthly are in green, and there's not many projects that boast that at the moment. The 3 months and the 6 months are actually one of the lowest negative ones I've seen across the multitude of projects. So this for me is really, really positive, because this is probably nearer to stabilizing itself completely than it is compared to many, many, many other assets out there. So as I said, bit of caution to win with that. Sometimes it can be misled, but I think that this is very strong. I feel this is very strong. So again, plenty of opportunity, plenty of time in my opinion to get LCX under 10 cents. If you're really that fussed like I am about the 2-3 cents differences or whatever this is, I that's what I'm doing. That's why I'm accumulating now, and that's why I got my buy points at lower areas. But that's very much about LCX today. We haven't got too many other updates for this, so just thought I'd throw this out there, because I can imagine there's loads of people questions about like what's going on with LCX, what's going on with the SEC. Honestly, if you look at the history of SEC, and especially with crypto, you'll see absolute garbage all the time. Let us know what you think about all this in the comments below. But I was going to wrap it up there, because I've got a couple more videos to try and do this evening. But otherwise, we will all catch up in the next video, and certainly on the next LCX one. Thank you for watching. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.